Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Please ensure to like, share, and subscribe. And also click the bell notification in the top right-hand corner to be made aware anytime I upload tutorials or videos to YouTube. Alright, let's craft together. Hey y'all. I am getting ready to change my Epson Tank 8550 from an inkjet to a DTF printer. First and foremost, what I want to tell you guys, if you decide to purchase this particular printer, there's no need to purchase the warranty if you're going to change it over to DTF, because once you change the ink system and everything in this printer, you void the warranty. So a warranty, no need to pay for any extra warranty. Now, if you're going to use it as its purpose, which is as an inkjet printer, then yes, go ahead and get the warranty. But if you're going to use it as a DTF, to change it over to a DTF printer, just like sublimation, when we changed the Epsons over to sublimation from inkjet to sublimation, don't get the warranty. Same thing with this. There's no need to get the warranty because you void the warranty as soon as you change this printer over to DTF, okay? So I got this printer in last week. It's been sitting by my front door. It's just been sitting by my front door. And every day I would say I'm going to do that video tomorrow. And tomorrow came and went. And so did I. All right, so I have a little notepad over here. I'm going to document how long it takes me to do the entire process, guys, to change this baby over. And so I'm going to do this video tutorial in bits and pieces. And don't mind me in this jacket because it is super cold in my apartment today. And so I can go back and turn my heat blanket on and get back up under my heat blanket, or I can go ahead and do this. Now, what y'all want me to do? All right, so this is a big baby, y'all. This is a big baby. All right, so when we open it up, we have here our let's see what this is. All different languages, I guess, of what's included in this package. And it has all different languages on here, guys. Okay. All right, so we can put that to the side. And all your warnings, information. Again, we're going to put all this stuff to the side. And I need to clock the time. You got your CD with your additional instructions. Okay, we're going to put that to the side. And yeah, this printer is big. All right, I'm going to throw this stuff over to the side. I'm so glad I bought some big trash bags because Lord knows I'm going to need it. All right, so let's see. These are our inks. Now, the inks that come in here, guys, what you're going to do with your inks is you're going to empty them. You're going to empty these inks. You're going to pour this ink out. If you're going to be using this as a DTF printer, you're going to empty the ink out of these, because you're not going to be using this in your printer, okay? So the great thing why people love this Epson Tank 8550 is because it comes with, let's see here. You got your black, you got your magenta, hold on one second. Let me get my glasses on. Y'all know I can't see. All right, so I don't want to call them wrong, guys. All right, so we got our yellow, and then we got gray. Gray normally does not come with regular Epson printers, but gray does come with your EcoTank 8550. So gray is the exception to the rule for this particular printer, but we're not going to be using this. We're going to take these, one of the black, we're going to take one of the black and one of the gray, and we're going to put white ink inside of these. Okay, so we're going to pour this, we're going to dump this ink out, and we're going to replace it with white ink. So you're going to have two white cartridges, so to speak, or ink holders for the DTF process. All right, and then you'll have your black, your yellow, and then your magenta, and then your cyan. All right, so these, we're still going to pour all the ink out. You're going to dump it. We're not using it at all. All right, don't even think about putting this in your printer and say, well, let me use it for inkjet for just a little while, and then I'll come back and change it over to DTF. No, it's highly recommended that you do not do that, guys. Go ahead and dump these inks out. Even the black has to go. All these inks have to go. All right, and then we have our power cord here. All right, in addition, to that, we have the actual printer. All right, I'm gonna pause you for a minute, and then I'm gonna come back after I get it out of the box. All right, guys, got it out of the box. It's pretty light without all the packaging. It's pretty light. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove all of this blue tape. You want to take this blue tape from everywhere on the printer. All right, you want to make sure you don't have any blue tape left. All right, we're going to take this out. You're going to get rid of all of this. Has to go. All the blue tape you want to take out. Even these little yellow pieces here, you're going to take those out as well. And all right, let me get the ones on the top and the sides. Okay, that one's on the inside. Okay, yellow pieces, you're going to have two of those that you're going to take out. You don't need those. All right, your tray, you're going to take and pull all these off. All right. All right. So a lot of tape. So I'm going to continue taking off all this tape. And if I see any hidden compartments, I'll make sure I mention those to you where I find tape. But I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the tape off, and then I'm going to come back. All right, guys. So I have all of the blue tape taken off. This tray right here, you can just save this. You're not going to be needing this for the use of DTF. the area here on the right, this is where all of your inks are going to be. This is where you're going to put all of your inks. And we're going to put the white is going to be in the very first two cartridges here. And then we'll go with the cyan, the yellow, the magenta, and then the black. So the black is going to be last. All right. So you're going to have white, cyan, yellow, magenta, black. That's how we're going to put our colors in. All right, guys, I'm going to show you. I'm going to come back to the ink in just a second, but I'm going to show you the way everything is set up here. Once you get all of that blue tape off, so your power button is going to be here on the left-hand side. And when you open this tray here on the very bottom, this is where you're going to have your area where your DTF film will come out. So you can pull that out. This is where the DTF or inkjet paper, when you're or paper when you're doing inkjet, this is where the paper comes out. And we're going to take some cardboard and we're going to make us something really sturdy to put in beneath, in between where the printer, the ink, the DTF film comes out and this ridge here, because if you don't, when your film comes out, it's going to hit that bump and it's going to smear your ink, because keep in mind, your ink is going to be wet when it comes out. Okay. So we're going to have to put something here so that when our paper comes, not our paper, but when our film comes out, it'll come out smooth. It'll come out flat. Okay. Flat and not have to interfere with this. So I will make one with you guys and tell you how the size of mine is to kind of help you out with that. You're going to have over here, you can lift your lid up here. This is the scanner portion if you were going to use this as an inkjet printer, but we're not. So on the back side, you can flip your lid up there. We're going to push this back in for right now. And this is where you're going to pull this up so that it will hold your DTF film when you're getting ready to print. So we're going to use the back tray back here. This is where you'll put your film so that when you get ready to print, that's where it will come out at. All right. Now on the sides, you're going to lift up. You got a little ridge here on the left, and then you have a little ridge here. Put that down like that so you guys can see. You have a ridge on both sides. You're going to lift up. All right. And that's going to lift the top of your printer. All right. And when you lift it, this is the area here where we're going to go in and we're going to remove the rollers. And we have some screws here that we're going to be removing. We have about 3, 4, 5, 6 screws that we need to remove. And we are also going to be lifting up our print head. Okay, so we're going to do that. And this is where your inks are going to go here on the right hand side. So you have a little lid that you'll just push up. And again, that's where all of your inks will go. Okay, so that is the setup, or that's the layout of your printer. And the next step, we're going to go in and we're going to power our printer on. We're going to make sure that we choose the language of English. And we're also going to get this to our print head to move over a little bit so that we can gain control of moving it left and right, because right now it's locked in place. But after we power it on and change the language to English, and we're not going to be using the system setup, select those settings. Once we do that, once this moves over just a little bit, we're going to unplug the printer. Okay, you can do it from the back, but we want to unplug the printer. All we're going to do is try to gain access to this print head. Okay, we want to be able to move it left and right freely for the next steps. So we got our power cord. all in all, it's going to take you about maybe 10 minutes to get your printer out. You want to be careful with it, guys, because this is a nice investment, right? So you want to be careful when you're lifting this. You want to make sure you get all of the ink out. And you have these little rollers, a blue and a black here. This right here, you can go ahead and move those all the way over to the far right, because for me, I'm going to be using this mainly for a lot of 13 by 19s. So if you're going to be using a smaller size DTF film, then this is what's going to control the size of your film, what size film that you're going to be putting into the back tray back there. All right. So I'm going to put this, leave this like this for right now. I'm going to push the tray in because we don't need that right now. And the next step, guys, I have my inks set over to the side. So when I get ready to fill these, I'm going to do these with you. But we're going to put those over to the side. And we're going to go ahead and get this powered on. And we're going to change the language. And we're going to choose that we're not using the system settings. And then we're going to unplug it. And then we're going to gain access to our print head so that we can move it freely. All right. All right, guys. So the power cord, the power is on the right side, where you plug your printer up. It's on the back right side. Okay. And what we're going to do now is we're going to power our, we're going to power the printer on. And after we power the printer on, we're going to choose the language English, like I said, and then we're going to select that we're not going to use the system setup. And as soon as this print head starts to move, I'm going to unplug this power cord from the back so that I can gain access to my print head where I can move it freely, because right now it's locked. So this is part 2. This is what we're going to do next. All right. So here we go. We're going to power it on. English is already selected. We're just going to go ahead and hit it. We're going to say continue without the setup app. And as soon as that print head starts to move, I'm going to unplug it. Just like that. All right. So now I have access to move the print head freely. Okay. We're just going to push it all the way. Now that we have access, we're just going to push it all the way over to the right. And guys, your motherboard is over here on the left-hand side, over near the print head, not print head, but the power button. You want to stay away from this area as far as cleaning and all that type of stuff. You want to stay away from it as much as possible. All right. Y'all don't pay attention to my nails because that's next up. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in and we want to remove these screws. So I have a Phillips head screwdriver, and I'm just going to go ahead and remove these 2 black screws here. And for those of you that have followed me for a long time, y'all know I don't like dealing with little small particles. So this is not going to be my favorite part of this process because I don't want to drop this screw in here somewhere. I may end up having to call a friend to come and help me. Let me lift this up a little bit more, and I'm going to see if I can get you where you can see what I'm doing here. All right, so there's also going to be, let me stand up here. There's also going to be let's take, when you take this off, now that we've removed the screws, you can take that off, and you're going to have 3 silver screws. Actually, it's going to be 4. It's going to be 1 over here on the very far right, or excuse me, far left. It's going to be one all the way over here on the very far left, and then we're going to have one here, one in the middle, and then one all the way down here on the bottom. And what we're doing now is we're going to go in and we're going to remove this, the rollers, okay? That's what we're going to do. We're going to remove the rollers. So give me a minute and let me get myself situated so you guys can see in here better, because I want you to have a good angle. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lift up and pull to get this print head out. Or not print head, but the roller. All right, so I got that side out. Even with my little busted nails, I was able to get her done. All right, so that's it. You can get rid of the print head, guys. It is no longer needed. All right, it's nothing you need to do with that. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put the black piece here that we took off first. We're gonna put that back on. Now let me just get this part, and we're gonna screw these back in. But that's it. We got that print head done. That was not print head, but the roller done. That was the part that worried me the most, was having to do that part. But you can see a girl did it, and she did it with her busted nails. But I'd rather my nails be busted than they be freshly done and then I mess them up. So that's the moral of that story. All right, so we put the cover back on. And in part 3, we're going to lift our print head, okay? So this here, we're going to be lifting the print head. And that part is fairly easy. We're just going to unloosen this silver screw right here by the print head. We're going to unloosen that just a little bit, and then we're going to be pushing this lever up to the very first position, all right? So that'll be part 3 coming up next. All right, y'all, I had to come back on. I forgot to put that one silver screw that goes here. I need to put that back in first. So put that silver screw back in and then put your black lid back on with the 2 black screws. So I'm going to do that. And this is the end of part 2. And then I'll come back in part 3 and we'll lift the print head. All right, guys, to lift the print head, to place it, we're going to take and place it in the first notch. And I forgot I had this handy dandy little light that I just bought off of Amazon. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go in, I'm going to unloosen this screw just a little bit. You don't want to unloosen it too much. And then I'm going to take and move this lever up to the very first notch. And you have one of these on both sides of your print head. So you're going to do it on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to come back. All right, guys, so I have now unloosened this screw just a little bit. You're not going to loosen it all the way. And then I lifted up the handle here and lined it up with that very first one. And then you're going to tighten it back up. And you have one on the opposite side. So you have one on the left and the right side. You're going to do both of them the same way. Just loosen it just a little bit, guys, with your Phillips head. And then you do have to lift up on this and move it up. And then screw that screw back in and do the same thing on the other side. So that concludes this portion. And we're going to move on to our next step, guys. The hard part is over. All right, guys. Now we are ready to where we can turn our printer back on. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the power button. And you're just going to hit English again and continue setup without the app. And your print head is going to move back and forth. And while that's doing that, guys, the color coordination is on the front here. You have your BK, your PB, your cyan, your yellow, your magenta, and then your gray. That's how we're going to put our colors. So we're going to have white in the BK, white in the PK, and then we're going to have the corresponding colors, cyan, yellow, magenta, and then the gray, we're going to have black. Okay, so the first two, BK and PB, is going to have white ink in it. Okay, so it says, see the start here bundled with the printer or on website to complete the initiation. We're just going to hit OK. And it says, when filling the ink, make sure not to squeeze the ink bottle. The ink may splash. Also, make sure to match the color of the ink bottle and the ink tank. Now, so I'm going to do the BK with you guys, and then I'm going to, you'll follow the same process for the remaining colors. Okay. So BK goes first, which is going to be white. We're going to put white ink in here. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on proceed there. It says make sure to fill the BK ink tank with the BK ink. So it's telling you the order it should go in. So here we have, it's already labeled BK. All right. So I got my ink from American HTV. It's a t-shirt shop here in Dallas, Texas. That's where I got my ink from. So you're going to take and you're going to screw this off. I couldn't get it earlier. Let me see if I can get it now. Ooh. Probably should put some gloves on. All right, let me get some gloves, guys. Hold on. All right, I probably won't be able to do it with the gloves, but you're going to screw that off. And you want to make sure that you keep the lids, the tops here, you want to keep them with the corresponding colors. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take this to the bathroom, and I'm going to pour this ink out, and then I'm going to wash the bottle out. All right. So you want to do that on all of your colors. All right. And make sure that you keep the colors together. Okay. It's okay if you have a little bit of ink, you know, you get a little ink on the bottles or whatever, but you want to wash this out as best you can. Okay. So pour all of your inks out. Keep all of your tops with the corresponding colors. So I'm going to go and pour this out, and then I'll come back. All right, guys. So I have my white ink, and I'm going to be placing, I've removed the top from here, and I'm going to go ahead and put this ink now over into my BK bottle. And so we're going to just open this up. And this might squeeze. I don't know. It's my first time using it. Let's, whoops. Yeah, it does. All right, so you're just going to squeeze that white ink over into your BK bottle. I'm going to try not to make a mess. So you just squeeze all of the ink, your DTF ink, over into the Epson container. Okay, and that is it. that is all. And I did shake this up before I put it into my Epson bottle, but we'll shake it up again here in a second. I need to get some napkins. All right, and then we're gonna just put our lid back on. Let me get some tissue. Give me 1 second to clean that lid off. Probably had these in here in the first place. I'm just going to wipe my bottle off. And then you're going to put the Epson BK top back on. Just like that. And then when we get ready to fill these little ridges, they'll fit right into our top here on our cartridge. Okay, so we're going to do that in a second, but I'm going to go ahead and get all of my bottles filled, and then we'll walk through the process of putting all of the ink in. So I'm going to get all my inks done, but I'm going to next go to the PB, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put white in that one as well. And just take that lid off. Pop that little top off. And I'm just going to squeeze this right on into the PB bottle. And before I do that, I'm going to move this printer back just a little bit so I don't have an accident. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to fill up the next bottle. So PB and BK will have white in it. So like I said, I bought my ink from American HTV here in Dallas, Texas. It's a local shop. They sell all DTF products. I only bought 2 bottles of the white and 1 of the others because I just want to see how this ink is going to work. The guy that I follow on TikTok is Highly Flavored. You guys go and if you're on TikTok, follow him on TikTok. He also has a YouTube channel, and he also keeps you informed about DTF and the Epson A550. That was the motivation for me purchasing this printer. It's because of all the great knowledge that I got from Highly Flavored. And it's flavored, F-L-A, and not favored, but flavored. All right. Now these containers that I'm using from American HTV, I'm trashing them because I don't have a need for them. Because I'm always going to take whatever ink I'm using, and I'm going to be putting that ink into the Epson cartridges. So I no longer need those cartridges or those bottles any longer. And like I said, keep all of your colors matched up. Now, I will tell you that when I washed out the bottles, I washed out the top of the lid too, because they had a lot of ink in them too. So I don't know if it makes a difference, but I did wash out my lids and there was a lot of ink in them. All right, so we got now both our BK and our PB, and we want to make sure we shake up that white, okay? And then we're going to put black in the one that says GY. And then the rest of them, guys, you're just going to follow the corresponding color. Cyan with cyan, magenta with magenta, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to do the black with you now. also bought some black DTF powder. I didn't have any black, but I already had white because I've done the DTF pack before. So I already had some of the products minus the ink. I already have film. So I'm going to try the film that I've been using. But at some point in time, I may purchase some film from Highly Flavored, because he sells DTF ink. He also sells the software that you'll need. He also sells the software, and he also sells the film. So he sells the 13 by 19 film and the ink and the software. So like I said, check him out, because that's where I'm going to get my software from. It's through him. All right, let me get this top off the black. All right, black has been a little bit more difficult. Here's my rag here. There we go. All right, so we're gonna now take and put the black into the gray container. And I would highly recommend that you do this in an area, just in case you spill some of the ink, you know, you don't get it in some carpet that, oh, I forgot to take the thing off, y'all. I'm like, why is it not squeezing? Ow. Oh, it's got another little thing in here that the others didn't have. Let me find my knife. Hold on. All right, here we go. This one had a little stopper thing on the inside. The whites didn't have that. Or unless when I pulled up that other little piece that came off with it. All right. Okay. Got that done. And we're going to take and put the matching top on there. And close it up nice and tight. All right. So now we have our white and our black done. And I'm going to leave you up to doing the remaining ones. You're just going to match up the corresponding colors. But I want to make sure that you get the PB, the BK, and the black like mine. Now, you can set the colors up however you choose, guys, because you're going to be telling your printer what color is in what cartridge, okay? But if you want to set it up like I'm doing, and I'm following the same instructions that Highly Flavored gave me, so that's how I'm setting mine up. All right, I'll be back. Okay, shake. Hit proceed. And now we're going to put our other second cartridge of white. We're going to put that into, oops. We're going to put that into the PB, okay? That's what I get for shaking without that top being on there. Know what I was thinking. And as you do each color, you're going to hit proceed, and it'll tell you, you know, proceed with the next color. All right, once it completes, guys, it tells you to then proceed to the print adjustment. So I'm going to click on to adjustment here. Align the printer to get the best print quality, adjust later, or adjust recommend. So I'm going to do recommend. Perform a print head nozzle check to check the print quality. All right, hold on. All right, guys. So when it comes to that message that we saw about the adjustment, we're just going to choose adjust later. We're not going to worry about that, and we're not going to worry about doing a print head nozzle check. We're just going to bypass that. And I'm going to be using Wi-Fi. Now it is preferred that you use hardwired, but I'm going to be using my Wi-Fi today. Eventually, I will probably set up the hardwire to connect my printer to my my laptop, but today I'm going to do the Wi-Fi. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you choose the proper paper setting, and we are going to do that. So I'm going to go over to settings, and I'm going to come down to printer settings, and then we're going to come to paper source settings and paper setup. And we want to make sure that we choose, wait a minute, let me make sure I'm in the right place. Paper. Oh, so here we are. So where it says printer settings, we're going to choose thick paper, and we're going to turn that on. Okay. And if you're using Wi-Fi, I'm just hitting the arrow back key, then you're going to go ahead and you can set up your Wi-Fi. So I'm going to hit start setup. Okay. And I'm going to set up my Wi-Fi. Now, in order to use this, guys, to do this entire process, you do have to have either Windows 11 or Windows 10. Those are two things, one or the other, Windows 10 or Windows 11. And you also, if you have a Mac or Mac with Parallel, then you'll be able to bypass an area that I'm going to show you what we need to do if we have Windows 10 or Windows 11. But we're going to do that next. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Participate in the future design of Epson products, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to say check later. All right. And select the following printer and Epson Smart Panel. All right. Let me locate everything here. All right. Complete. Go back. Choose Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi setup wizard. So I'm going to set up my Wi-Fi. If you're using hardwire, you will just hardwire, USB hardwire. You're going to connect in the back of the printer and then connect the USB to your laptop. Alrighty. So now I got to get my password. All right, I'm going to get my Wi-Fi set up and I'll be right back. All right, guys, at this point, I have went in to the settings, to the paper, and changed the printer settings and turned thick paper on. Now that I have that on, I've also connected my Epson-ET 8550 to my Wi-Fi. Now, again, it is highly recommended that you use the USB to hardwire from your computer over to your printer, but I'm not going to be doing that today. I may do it at a later time. Just in case you have any, let's say you have a slow internet
connection or access, or if it goes out, then of course, that's going to interfere with your printing or your ability to print. But today I'm going to be doing Wi-Fi. All right, so once we get that done, we're then going to go to Google, and we're going to Google the Epson-ET 8550, and we want to look for the driver, and we want to download that. Okay, so I'm going to go in and type in Epson 8550, and we're going to do the driver download. All right. And we are going to select the very first one here. All right. So we're going to select downloads. Okay. And once we get here to the Epson-ET 8550, we're going to come down to operating system. And this is where you're going to select Windows 11, Windows 10, whatever your operating system is. I have Windows 11, so that's what I'm going to be selecting. And then we're going to click on go. Okay, so we're going to click on go. Now, this is where I said if you have a Mac and you're using Parallel, then you can skip this part. But if you're not using Mac and you have operating systems other than the Mac and you're using Parallel, then you want to, or you will have to do this step. Okay. So once we click on go from there, the next step is, all right. So once we get that done, we're going to come down to recommended for you. And we have our drivers and utilities combo package installer. We're going to click on this button here that says download. Okay. And then once we click on download, we're going to click on the actual file. And it says, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? You're going to select yes. And here where it says this file contains the installer. To obtain everything you need to use your Epson EcoTank Photo ET8550, click OK to continue. You're going to click OK. I'm going to let that run here. Okay, so at this point, we've selected what we need to select. You're going to get a window that's going to ask you, do you want to, it's going to be three little boxes for you to check off if you want to have Epson to reach out to you for product information and things like that. You can deselect all of those and just click on next. All right. And then it's going to come up and say select your connection method. And here it says you can connect the product and the computer via wireless LAN or Wi-Fi. Okay. And it says the following products are detected on the network. So it has detected mine. And that is because I did connect mine via Wi-Fi. So let's see here. Hold on one sec. And then also, guys, it's going to tell you to check the following. It's going to tell you to see the printed instructions for details on setting up the printer. Make sure the printer is turned on, and then have you finished filling up all of your tanks. You're going to indicate with there is going to be one little box. You're going to click it that says I finished filling the ink tanks. And then once you select that, you're going to click next, and it'll bring you to this screen. For some reason, my recording wasn't going. So, all right. Next up, once we do that, all right. So I'm going to select my product here, which is the EcoTank 8550 series, and I'm going to click on next. And then it's going to download our network utilities. So it's going to go through the next few steps here. I'm going to let that run. All right, you can see here now our setup is in progress and it tells us to please wait. So it's connecting our computer to our printer. All right, and then select the software to install. And let's take a look here. All right, so once you get to this page, you're going to click on install. We're going to let that run. All right, guys, so here we have print a test page. We're not going to be printing any test pages. We're just going to click next. Now it's checking the firmware. And here it gives you your serial number, your warranty status, and then remind me about the Epson extended service plan before my warranty expires. You can deselect that because remember I told you you're going to void your warranty as soon as you put that DTF ink into your Epson 8550. So that's not going to matter. And you're going to click next. And it says here your product is ready to use. We're going to click on finish. All right, and then the next thing that we're going to do, all right, once we get that done, guys, we're going to go to our settings. So I'm going to go here to this is your computer settings, and you're going to check or look for privacy. Excuse me, you're going to look for printers and scanners. So let's see here. All right, so settings and then Bluetooth and devices, and then you're going to select printers and scanners. All right. Now, I have connected mine to the Wi-Fi. So this is what mine look like. Epson-ET 8550 series. Okay. Um, and then you may even see ET855 series network. Okay. I'm going to select both of them because I want to see which one is going to show me the next screen, which um, I want to make sure it mimicked what I saw on Highly Flavored. So let's take a look here. So we got this one, and then we're going to go to printer preferences and let's take a look. Okay, so that's definitely not it. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to click on this one, which is for Wi-Fi. And I'm going to go to printer preferences. And so this is the one that I'm going to want. So I'm going to make sure I point this out to you guys. When you go to your settings and you click on Bluetooth and devices and then printers and scanners, when you get here, if you see more than one Epson-ET 8550, the one that if you hardwired in from your computer to your printer, if you use the USB wire, then you want to select Epson-ET 8550 series. If you're using Wi-Fi, you want to select ET 8550 series network. Okay, so it is going to display differently, but what you want to see is when you come to your printer preferences, this is what you want to see. Okay, this is what you want to see here. All right, and then once you get to this, you're going to have three tabs. You're going to click on maintenance. And then from the maintenance, you're going to click on extended settings. So let's take a look here, which is here. And you're going to deselect show progress meter and enable Epson status monitor 3. You're going to deselect those, but you do want to select check paper with before printing and thick paper and envelopes. Okay, those two you do want to have selected. So the first two deselect and the third and fourth select, and then hit OK and OK. And that is it for setting up the Epson EcoTank uh, driver. So we are done with this. You can just go ahead and exit out of that. And next up, we're going to talk about the software that you're going to need, which is your CADlink. Okay. All right, guys. Once we get the printer driver installed, we're going to go back to Google. And this time we're going to look for CADlink.com. Now, I don't have CADlink, so I'm going to be using the trial version. I will tell you that the guy that I'm following on TikTok, Highly Flavored, he does sell, like I said, the DTF ink. He also sells the DTF film, and he also sells CADlink. Okay, and he has a version that you can use, a link that you can use for the trial version as well. All right. So I'm going to be getting, when I get ready to purchase it, I will be purchasing mine from him. It does run you about $400. All right. So you don't use CADlink to design, you use it so that you have the ability to print or to send your images to the EcoTank 8550 using the direct to film um, process. Okay. So I'm going to accept the cookies here. I'm going to select products. And from products, we're going to select Digital Factory. And it says Digital Factory Streamline Production is high, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to select free trial. Okay, let's see. There we go. So I clicked on free trial, and you want to select this very first option here, direct to film. That's the one you want to select. And it has the trial under here. Now, uh, let's see. I'm going to select here. And then you're going to click on the actual file. Okay, and you're going to select yes. And you're going to select the first bubble, which it automatically defaults to. You're going to click next. And it's going to download our files. We're going to let that run. All right, and we're now ready to click on start. I'm going to select OK. And here we're going to select next. And we're going to accept the license agreement and click next. And we want to do a full install of the digital digital factory and click next. And I'm going to let this default here to my C drive, and I'm going to click next. All right, and I'm just going to hit next. So it's going to install. And I wanted to try the trial just to make sure it's going to work on my laptop, because I know, like, I bought a new laptop last year, and um, Cameo 4 Silhouette Studio. I can't use it on my new laptop. It will only work, or I can only install it on my old laptop. I don't know why. And Silhouette hasn't been able to help me with that. So um, I wanted to make sure before I purchase it that it was going to work on my laptop. All right, I'm going to let that run and I'll come back. All right, once you finish installing or downloading the trial version, if you don't have it already, of CADlink, then you're going to come to your search on your computer and you're going to search for Digital Factory, which is the name for your CADlink. So Digital Factory. Let me make sure. Okay, here we go. All right, so it tells us that we're running the Digital Factory version 11 Direct to Film Edition for the first time. Please review the initial settings and modify to suit your preferences. And we want to make sure that we have this set to display in inches, or if you use centimeters over inches or millimeters, then you want to select whichever is applicable for you. I'm going with inches. My number of decimals will be 2, and then I'm going to hit OK. And then if you have already purchased CADlink and you have an activation code, then you would click here to enter your activation code. But I'm going to click here, this blue link that says click here to register your trial. And this is where I'm going to fill out all my information. So I'm going to put my information in, and then I'm going to click on register my product, and then I'll be back. All right, after I finish entering all my information, it came up here that says by using our documentation, you're agreeing to CADlink Technologies privacy policy. You can read that. You may opt out at any time. I'm going to click on continue. And it says, welcome to the product queue setup wizard. The wizard will set up your local production queue. To continue, click next, or to cancel, or click cancel to quit. So we're going to click next. And now it says important steps before proceeding. Turn the output device power on, which mine is already on. Connect the device to the computer or network, which I've already done. I'm going to click next. And let's see here. Assign a default printer to this production queue. And let's see. 1 second here. All right, so from here, guys, we're going to come down to install our printer. And you're going to look for the Epson-ET, and you want to make sure that it has V2 on the end. Very important. And y'all know I'm blind, so I might go past it. All right, Epson-ET 8550 DTF V2, and select OK. This is the only one. Do not select this one that doesn't have the version 2. You want to make sure you select version 2. Okay, and once we get that done, let's see now. Device package search. All right, so at this point, we're going to click on next and copying the device packages. We're going to click on next. And then for your port setup, if you use the hardwire USB, you're going to select file, but I use the my Wi-Fi, so I'm going to select TCP. And then I'm going to select the Epson 855 series. Let me just make sure that it doesn't give me different ones. All right. So we got our Epson-ET 8550 series. Okay, and next. And it lets us know that it was installed successfully. We're going to click on finish. And now we are in, my friend. Okay, I got a Windows security that says, do you want to allow public and private networks to access this app? CADlink. Windows Firewall has blocked some features of PSQ, CADlink printer queue on all public and private networks. Okay, let's see. All right, now that we have that done, guys, we're now going to do a couple of things in CADlink. So you have a couple of tabs here. We're going to click on Queue. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Manage Queues. And we are going to make sure that we have the Epson 8550. And for the file, we want to select either file for, or the port, you want to select file if you use the USB hardwire, or you're going to select TCP for your Wi-Fi. All right, and then you're going to select the printer and OK. Okay, and install. Okay, so we're going to click OK and yes. And you'll know when it's installed because instead of install, this button will change to remove. So that's now taken care of here. We're going to click on close. And then we're still working with the queue, right? We're now going to come down to set ink order. And this is where we're going to remember how we put our inks in. We did the white, cyan, yellow, magenta, and black. So we're going to go in and I'm going to select white. And, well, actually, I'm going to select white 2 because you can't have 2 of the same colors. So we got a white 2, white. We're going to leave this to cyan, yellow, magenta, and we're going to change this to black. Okay, this is the order of our colors in our for our printer. Okay, and then once you get that done, now if you set yours up differently, you want to follow however you set your color coordination up on your actual Echo tank. Okay, click OK. And still working within the queue, we're now going to go to properties. And for our properties, we're going to click on media setup here on the left. And this is where we're going to select our paper or our DTF film size. And so I'm going to be using the 13 by 19. So let's go and locate 13 by 19. And I'm probably looking right at it. Okay. 13 by 19. Now, if you're using a different size, A3, A4, so on and so forth, then you'll select whichever one you're going to be using. I'm using 13 by 19. And then we're going to come over to Layout Manager here on the left. And you want to make sure Mirror Job on Import is selected. So you want to make sure that is selected. And then we're going to come down to Color Layer. And we're going to select processing options. And we want to make sure that this is where we're going to indicate the undertone base strength. So we're going to click on this drop down arrow and we're going to select number 27, which is 80% white under black. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and click on OK. And next up, we are going. All right, one thing I do want to point out to you guys is that when you're doing when we're doing that last step where we selected our color layer, I'm going to go back to it here. And then we went to processing options and we select this under base strength. Now, if you're using images that have predominantly black in color, then you want to change this to actually 100%. Okay, so you want to go with 100% strong, 100% white under black. All right, but if you're using more images to give you the ability to do this process on blacks and white colored shirts, then go ahead and select the 27, which is 80% white under black. But again, if you're using predominantly black images for black t-shirts, then you do want to make sure that you select 100% here instead. Okay, so want to point that out, and we're going to keep moving right along. All right, guys, also on the processing options, after we change this to 27, 80% white under black, we're going to come down to the choke the prime, and we're going to change this from a 2 to a 4. And then we're going to go ahead and click on OK. Now we have done that. We're then going to do one last thing before we get to uh, our actual how to bring an image in to print. So next up, we're going to go in and we're going to go to printer options. Okay, so we're going to go back to Q and properties, and we're going to come back to our color layer here, back to our printer options, and we are going to where you see here under the inline speed where it says normal, you're going to change that to fast. And then for the print direction where it says unidirectional, you're going to change that to bidirectional. And then you're going to click on OK. All right. Now that we have that done, we are done setting up what we need to in CADlink. You have this green plus sign here. This is where you can go in to locate images that you want to do DTF on. And so I'm going to, I think I'm going to use an image from Creative Fabrica. And I'm going to bring that image in, and then we're going to get that printed out, and we're going to do our first print together. Now, there's a way that you can go in. I'm just going to be showing you today how you can go in and bring in one image, and we're going to make that image about a 12 by 17 because we're going to put it on 13 by 19 size paper. And I don't think I have 1319. Actually, I think I have 11 by 17. I think I have 11 by 17. I'm going to double check. But anywho, I'll go back in and I'll change my size settings. Okay. But I'm gonna come. I have to look up my because I know I have a larger DTF film, so I might have to go back in and change my printer settings from 13 by 19 until I get my 13 by 19 in. I think I have 11 by 17 DTF film, so I'll go back and fix that. But anywho, I'm going to get my image and then I'm going to bring it in and we're going to get that image printed out. So give me 1 second here. All right, so I went in and I looked at my paper or my film. So I'm going to go back to Q and properties, and on the left here, media setup, and I'm going to change this to the actual size that I have, which is right at a 12 by 16. So let's see here. So that's 11 by 17, 13 by 18. So they don't have my actual size here. I probably could, no, because that's 11:45. Let's see if I can add a size in here. So I clicked on add new media, and I'm gonna do width is 12 and height is 16. All right, and then I'm gonna call this DTF film. And this doesn't have a brand on it now that I look at it. I thought this was from one of the clients that I use a lot, but it's not, and it just has DTF transfer film. So I'm just gonna leave it on that DTF film from Collab, and I'm gonna click create. And okay, and let me just make sure that it is selected. You know, you always need to double check your work. So media setup, 12:16, fixed sheet media. Okay, I'm gonna leave that. And I'm gonna move on now to get my image, and I'm going to show you how we print, and we're going to hope for the best, because guys, keep in mind, this is my first time setting up this 8550. I did it directly. Everything you guys saw was live with me doing it for the first time. So if there's anything that wasn't clear, chime in the comments. I tried to document the entire process. I did have one little area where my camera wasn't recording, not my camera, but my on my laptop it wasn't recording, so I tried to go back in and just make sure I tell you what to do in that area. And so yeah, I'm going to get my image that I want to work with, and then I'm going to bring it in and we're going to go from there. So give me a moment here. Okay, I'm going to do this image here, which is Women of the Bible, Retro Christian God, and this is the actual design here from Creative Fabrica. I'll link this design in the comments. This is actually by, let's go here, Flora Co Studio. Flora Co Studio. So I'm going to click on download, and we're going to open up that file and select it and extract. And extract. And you want to make sure that your images are 300 dpi that you're working with. So if this one isn't, I'm going to show you what to do in CADlink to get it to change it to a 300 dpi. So let me just make sure it's in my downloads here for this God file, and it is Women of the Bible. So we're going to go out of here, and we're going to go back to CADlink. Let's see here. All right, so we're going to click on this green plus to open, and I'm going to go to my downloads, and okay. All right, so now this says all supported files, and let me just see if there's anything that talks about supported files and if this is what I have to select, or am I able to select the actual file type. So give me 1 second, let me double check. All right, it finally showed up. It took a minute, but you're going to leave this on all supported files, and then you're going to select your image. Okay, And here is our image. And remember, it's going to be mirrored for us. And it has the file name here. And you want to make sure that right now it shows that this is a 12 by 12 in width and height. So I have my image selected, and it's going to give me the ability to work with the size and positioning, and also if I need to crop it or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is, because my paper is a 12 by 16, I'm going to make my image 11, and I'm going to make um I'm going to do 14.5. Let me see what that looks like. All right, that went really wacky. So, oh, let me unlock it. That was the problem, I believe. Okay, so I'm going to unlock it. I'm going to change this to 11, and I'm going to change this to 14.5, and then I'm going to lock that back. Okay, so there we go. So we want to make sure, guys, that your image is inside of your film size. You don't want it to extend out, and you can use the crop to kind of bring the image in some so that you don't have all that excess white, because less is better. So let me go back. I don't know why my computer keeps wanting to bring up whatever this is. Let me move that out of my way. And all right, I'm going to go here at the top, and I'm going to center on the page, and I'm going to see if it will allow me to crop it like that. I'm going to click on create. All right. And so everything looks good. It's mirrored and all that good stuff. And all we have to do now is click on print. And this is our print here. I'm going to go ahead and load my film. I'm going to come up on the screen and show you what my film looks like. And I'm going to be using, have the black, I have the black. Yeah, I may not want to put black because this Women of the Bible is actually in black. So I'll probably put this on a white shirt. Um, but anywho, let me just, look like it's not centered. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get this printed out, but I'm going to come up on the screen and show you what film I'm using. Again, Highly Flavored does sell the 13 by 19, which I will be purchasing 13 by 19, and I'll also be purchasing CADlink. But this gave me a great opportunity to use the trial version of CADlink just to make sure that everything will work on my laptop before I invest that $400, Lord Jesus. So I'm going to come up, show you what film I'm going to be using, and then all I have to do at this point is just click on the print. And then I'll come back on maybe one day this week and show you how you can load multiple images and do a multiple print using DTF as well. That's provided everything goes well here tonight, because you guys are going to go with me and walk through the entire process of me actually printing this out, laying the powder or putting the powder on it, and then heat pressing the garment onto my t-shirt. Okay, so I'm going to do that all, and then we're going to call it a wrap. I would say all in all, the process to get here is going to take you about an hour, maybe an hour and a half for you if you're completely new to, you're not computer savvy and you're completely new to all of this. But guys, it's not as bad as what you may seem. I was scared of sublimation and changing my Epson 7720 over to sublimation, but I did it with no help. You saw me do it tonight using my little jacked up fingernails to do it with the Epson Echo Tank 8550. And you know, you saw me remove the roller and lift the print head, all that good stuff. So it is not bad at all. It's just a lot to get it started out for the first time. But once you get it started out, it's just a matter of maintenance and that type thing, which we'll talk about in another video tutorial. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and get this printed out. I'm going to come up on camera, show you my film, and then we're going to go from there. All right, guys, couple of things. Don't forget you're going to need a piece of cardboard that's pretty sturdy. So I just took a piece of Amazon box, and that's what I'm going to be using. This is what you're going to place where your or your film tray is, because we're not using paper. And you're going to slide this in that opening so that when your film comes out, it comes out nice and smooth. You do not want to print on your DTF without something in there so that it doesn't hit that ridge that's on the actual tray. All right. So I have my cardboard here, and you want to again make sure it's sturdy. You can see this is Amazon. All right. So we got that. And then the DTF film that I'm using, you see, no name. Just says DTF transfer film, suitable for various DTF printers. I've used this in my sublimation printer when I did the DTF hack before I got this Epson 8550. And I've also used it in my HP OfficeJet Pro when I was doing Inkjet DTF hack. Okay, so I've used this film in both an inkjet printer and I've also used it in a sublimation printer. But again, this, when I used it in those printers, I could only do the DTF hack on white only, no dark colors. Okay, because I don't have white pigment ink in either one of these printers. So now that I have my Epson 8550, then I'll be able to use the DTF workaround. Let me say DTF workaround because it's not a DTF printer, but we've changed it over so that it will allow us to be able to. I got the box all on my shirt here, where we'll be able to still do DTF. Now, this comes with the printed side up. So I've already placed it into the back tray on my Epson 8550. There's going to be a kind of rugged side, and then there's going to be a smooth side. The smooth side is not the side you print on. If you print on the smooth side, your ink is not going to lay properly. It's going to smear easily, and you're going to think that I showed you something wrong or told you something wrong. All right. So you want to make sure. And sometimes when you get your films, a lot of times the film will say that it's on the printed side already or the printed side is here. And so I don't take them out until I get ready to use them. And then that way I know that I'm already on the printed side. I don't have to do the filling around. But if you receive some DTF film, let's say you got it from Amazon or somewhere else, you didn't get it from Highly Flavored, then you want to make sure that you have determined what side is the printing side. Okay. If your ink is not laying properly, if it's just running off of the film, then you print it on the smooth side. Okay. The smooth side is the back side. That's a no-no. All right. Now, sometimes your film will go into the Epson 8550 with no problems. Sometimes you may have to put some painter's tape at the very top so that your printer will recognize that it's film, that, you know, it'll think that it's paper, but it's really film. And that's because we're using this film, which is kind of see-through. Okay, so if you have an issue with your film going into your Epson 8550, then just put some painter's tape just across the top, and make sure that you cut it so that it, stops before here. And you don't want to put the painter's tape on the side that you're going to print on. You want to put the painter's tape on the smooth side, okay? So that when it goes in, it'll read your film. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and put I already have my um film in my Epson 8550. I'm going to go ahead and put my cardboard in there, and I'm going to go ahead and hit print in CADlink, and I'm going to hope for the best. All right. I'm going to hope for the best because I've watched Highly Flavored a million times before I purchased this 8550 because I said I would never do DTF like this, but he made it look so easy, and it seems easy, but now it's time to tell if I did everything right. All right. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go over to my um 8550, and we're gonna see if it prints. Oh, I'm gonna show you guys. Give me 1 second here. Now remember I told you that Highly Flavored, he actually sells the DTF film. He also sells the DTF ink, and he also sells CADlink. Okay. Um, but I got my powder that I'm going to be using. I purchased the black. Now I already have 3 trays of powder because, like I said, I used to do the DTF sublimation and inkjet hack. So I already have the powder in trays that I can use, but I don't have the black. And I like this one because it kind of has like a salt shaker top so that you can just sprinkle the powder on. All right. Now, when I'm going to be doing on images on a black t-shirt, then I'm told that I want to use the hot melt for um the black powder. But I also bought one of the white ones as well, but I'm not going to be using this today because I already have a tray or container with my powder already in it, and you'll see that here in a moment. So I'm going to go ahead, put this in, and you want to be careful when you are handling your DTF film after it prints. You want to be careful because it's wet and you don't want to touch it, and you want to make sure that you let it come out on your cardboard that's sturdy. Okay, you want to make sure it's sturdy because you do not want it to um, come out and you know hit up against your printer or anything like that, because if it does, then it's going to leave a smear, and that's what you're going to have. Okay. So we don't want to waste this precious ink. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead, put this into my printer. Then I'm going to hit print, and then I will let you guys see what it looked like.
All right, guys, moment of truth. Uh-oh, y'all. It looked like it worked. I'm getting excited. All right, y'all. I may be able to go to bed before midnight. Or 12:30, shall I say. I am super excited to see how this look on the other side, y'all. Just think, guys, no weeding. All we got to do is just press it. We got to put the DTF powder on it. And after we do the DTF powder, we're going to cure it. After we cure it, we're going to press it. And then after we press it, my DTF powder, I have to allow it to cool, but they do have DTF powder that is a hot peel. I have to do a cool peel or a cold peel. And oh, I can smell that ink, y'all. That white ink, I can smell it. I don't know if it's just the white, but you can see it's wet. Yeah, I almost dropped my camera on the image. I'm gonna cure this in my convection oven. All right, y'all. It says printing complete. All right, let me put my camera down. All right, guys, moment of truth. Look at that! Oh my God! Okay, all right, I'm gonna get my DTF powder and we're gonna put the powder down, and then I'm gonna put this in the convection oven to cure it, and then we're gonna press this on our garment. Give me a minute. All right, guys, this is my powder that I keep in my little tray container here, and I'm gonna take and put my image in here, and then I'm going to take and put the powder on top. This is the DTF powder. This is so that this is going to be the adhesive or the glue that's going to hold everything together. So I'm going to get enough on here so that I can just shake it back and forth. And you just want to make sure you get this DTF powder over the entire image. Okay. And I'm going to cut this down. So let me grab my scissors. All right. It's going to go in. And cut this down. All right, and now I'm going to go back over to my DTF powder here and just make sure I got all of the entire image, because I do see a couple of still wet spots where I didn't get the flowers very good. And you just want to make sure that you cover everything. All right. So now we have the DTF powder. You just shake off any excess. And that is the DTF with the powder on it. And I'm just looking to make sure that I got all areas. That looks good. I'm just gonna hit these little flowers at the top one more time just to make sure. All right, guys, Women of the Bible, DTF, full effect. All right, so I'm gonna get this ready to go into the convection oven so I can cure it. And normally if you were curing this under your heat press, guys, you would just make sure that you see my heat press over there. You would just make sure that your heat press, either you're going to unloosen it so that it doesn't close down and you can place your image underneath it and cure it for about 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. And if you don't want to unloosen the heat press, then you can hold it down. Just make sure it doesn't touch the image and cure it. And then you'll be ready to place it onto your garment and heat press it. All right. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to be using my convection oven to cure my image. So that's what I'm going to be using. So what I meant by the heat press deal is you can take and hold the heat press down like this and just hold it there for the time frame to cure it if you choose to do that. Me, on the other hand, I'm going to be using my good old faithful convection oven. And I use my convection oven for my other DTF sublimation hacks. So I'm just going to continue to do what I've always done. All right, so we're going to put this on here. And I'm going to use this tray. Let's see if I can do it this way. So I'm going to put it in the convection oven just like this. All right. For my convection oven, I'm probably going to put it at about 300 because of the direct heat. It's not going to take minutes. Okay. It's going to take more like seconds for it to cure. Okay. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And I am in love, y'all. I am in love. And I highly favored told us everything to do, the proper way to do it. Everything worked out. Now we just have to worry about the daily maintenance. He did say that by the end of March, he should have a system that will do the maintenance as far as, shaking, so that you don't have to manually shake to shake up that white ink. So I'm interested in that. So the more I know, the more I'll tell you. If you follow him, then you'll be in the know already. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my convection oven on. And I'm going to put it at about 300. And I'm going to let that heat up, and then I'll come back. We'll put this in the convection oven and let it cure. And like I said, it's only going to take seconds because of the fact that it has that direct heat to. All right, y'all, my convection oven is ready. It is at the 300 mark. So I'm going to go ahead and put my image in. All right, we're going to let that cure. Keeping my eye on it. Let's take a lookie. Okay. I think I can go a little bit, a couple more seconds. And I'm going to come back when it's done. Alright guys, I cured it for about 35 seconds. And I had it at 300 degrees. And I'm going to show it to you guys. You will know when it has cured because it's going to get kind of like a wet look to it. So you can see that the ink is starting to show through and it's no longer just completely white. And hopefully you guys can see it looks melted. Okay, that's the outcome you want. And again, I did it for at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for about 35 seconds. Okay, so now I'm letting my heat press heat up. And once my heat press finish heating, then we're going to be placing this onto our garment. I'm so stoked, y'all. So I'm going to let my heat press heat up and then we'll come back and we will press this on. All right, y'all. Also, you'll be able to touch the design once it's been cured. You'll be able to touch it and not have to worry about, I got that ink on my finger, y'all. So, you'll be able to touch it. So that's another indication that it's cured properly, because remember that white ink was wet, and if you touch it and it's not cured properly, then that white ink is going to come off on your hands. So you know that this is completely cured and ready to go. Now, I lied to y'all. I said I was going to do it on a white shirt, but I've been waiting so long to do DTF on a colored shirt. So I'm going to be doing blue. I'm going to put this on a blue shirt. I lied, okay? And we're going to see what happens. We're going to hope for the best. I'm going to press this at 325, guys, for 15 seconds. I'm going to do a pre-press to get out any moisture. Still 100% cotton. And their extra large shirts are super big. I probably could have just did a large. I don't know how they hold up in the wash, but I do know they look super big to me. And I'm getting super hot in my jacket now. It's time to wind it down and go to bed. Again, the powder that I'm using is Well Acer. It's by Well Acer. That I had for a while because I used to, like I said, do the DTF hacks. So I'm going to pre-press this for about 5 seconds. Oh, I need to tighten that pressure back up. I had it loose for something. Because you do want to have firm pressure, guys. Whew. That one was too firm. All right, that's good right there. And then you do want to kind of let this cool before you put your DTF transfer on here. For about 15 seconds, let that cool. But my press is still getting to the temperature it needs to be. So we're going to let that do its thing. And again, we're going to come down 3 fingers from the collar. And then we're going to press this 325 for 15 seconds. We're going to let it cool down. And then we're going to do a cold peel. And we'll still keep our fingers crossed because everything has worked perfectly. So I'm almost scared. And in the convection oven, I had it at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. It took about 35 seconds to cure. Let's see what my temperature is at now. All right, we're almost there. We're home free, y'all. I'll come back in a second. All right, we're gonna come down 3 fingers from the collar, and it is safe to go ahead and lay our image down. You know what? I got this Women of the Bible is in black. So that's going to be hard to show up on my blue. I just can't get it right, y'all. So I'm going back to a different color. Let me see what other color I have. All right, I got a light blue. So I'm going to go with light blue instead. And my press is ready. So I'm going to do a quick pre-press. But I think this will be better to show you guys the white ink on the darker color or some other color besides white, right? All right, I'm going to do a pre-press for about 5 seconds. Give that about 15 seconds to cool down. All right. I'll lay our design. All right, y'all, I don't know when my camera stopped, but I changed it to a light blue shirt because I have this Women of the Bible actually in black. So I wanted to show up, so I couldn't do it on that dark blue shirt. So you guys can see it better here. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna press this for about 15 seconds, firm pressure at 325. So let's go. All right, we're gonna let this cool, and then we're going to then take it up, because this, I know for a fact that this Well Lacer powder is a cold peel. So I'm gonna let this cool, and then we're gonna pull it up, and we'll be done, y'all. We will be done. We have come a long way, baby, together. All right, I'm gonna come back in a second. All right, y'all, moment of truth. I think it's cooled enough. Let's see what happens. All right, here we go. I started pulling it off and my camera stopped. Ooh, y'all look at that, and all the ink is gone. Nothing left behind. Oh my God. And it feels amazing. Oh my God. Y'all, the only thing is when I pulled it down, I realized that I came down more than 3 fingers. When I pulled my shirt, I pulled it down too much. So I'm going to put my name across here. But I want y'all to see this. Don't pay no attention to the fact that I came down too far. But look at this. Ah, amazing. Finally got my DTF set up. Highly flavored is amazing, y'all. His process worked like a charm. All right, that is it, and that is all, y'all. So I'm going to pull everything together and try to get this video out to you guys on tomorrow, no later than Tuesday, because it's a lot of pieces. And no, my shirt is not, my design is not backwards, guys. That's my camera. I get a lot of people saying your design is backwards. It is not, okay? That's the way my camera picks it up. But anywho, look at that, y'all. That turned out beautiful. And it feels amazing. Oh my God, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I don't know when I'm going to do sublimation again. Okay? I'm going to be buying ink forever. Look, y'all. It turned out so pretty. Huh. Y'all just don't know how I was hoping that ink worked out, because I was like, I need to get this ink from Highly Flavored, but I was in the DTF or in the t-shirt shop and I saw the ink and everything, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try it and pray to God that it works. Worked amazing. All right. All right, guys, that's it. That's all. Again, this is the DTF, doing a DTF transfer or making a DTF transfer using the Epson 8550, Echo Tank 8550. And I showed you everything from beginning to end, from how to change the printer over from an inkjet printer to a DTF printer. Make sure before you put that white ink into your Epson printer that you do shake it up, okay? Make sure you shake it up before you put it into your printer. And I did white, and then the corresponding colors, and I did black on the end. And yeah, guys, this image again is from Creative Fabrica. I will link it in the description. I'll link CADlink, and I'll also link the 8550 print driver. I'll link all of that information in the description of this video tutorial so that you will be armed with everything that you need. And again, check out Highly Flavored. If you're on TikTok, then go ahead and subscribe to his TikTok or follow him on TikTok. And he also has a YouTube channel that you can check out as well. And if you're seeing me for the first time, guys, then please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. DTF. Ah, I'm so excited, y'all. I am so excited. You guys saw me cure this for 35 seconds at 300 degrees Fahrenheit in my convection oven. And then I heat pressed it at 325 for 15 seconds. I did a cold peel, but again, they do have DTF hot peel powders that you can peel it off as soon as you heat press it. We did do a pre-press for 5 seconds to get out any moisture. I'm so excited, y'all. I am super stoked and excited. I can't believe, I mean, you know, the first time I seen Highly Flavored, I was like, man, that print ain't gonna work. He turned me into a big liar. It worked. I'm so excited. I'm so glad I did it. All right, guys. So that's it. That's all. Like I said, if you have any questions, then please chime in the comments. And look like my nails are not going to get done until tomorrow because I'm about to take me a hot shower and go to bed. All right. So tomorrow I'll be able to do the cute nails with y'all. But tonight, I'm sorry. I got the job done though, right? That's all that matters. But anywho, if you're currently in my Facebook group, Candoris's Cricut and Creative Crafters, guys, thank you so much for following me via Facebook. If you would like to join my Facebook group, it will be linked in the description of this video as well on my link tree All you have to do is click on the link for Candoris's Cricut and Creative Crafters and agree to the Facebook group rules, and we will get you in, okay? And then if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please, 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 if you're seeing me for the first time, you like my method of teaching, I have over 500 video tutorials on all types of crafts. DTF is going to be the new one. I'm so excited, y'all. I'm talking fast because I'm excited, but I'm sleepy too. I'm tired now. I'm tired. It's midnight here. Thanks for moving the time up an hour. But anywho, that's it, guys. So just keep in mind that if you are doing sublimation and you were to do this image using sublimation, then these cream colors would come out blue because there's no white pigment ink with sublimation ink. Okay, so that is the purpose of DTF. That's the all the rave on why people want to learn how to do DTF. But this is on a more cost efficient end, guys. Doing the DTF with the Epson 8550. Yes, it does require daily maintenance. I'm going to do a video tutorial on that. But you can't deny that. You can't deny it. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. All right. Okay. I gotta go to bed. All right, guys, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. You guys know my motto is each one reach one so that each one can teach one. And hey, you guys have an amazing day. Bye.